everybody, Team Pikachu here to talk to you about batteries. How did battery get started? How do batteries work? What do batteries do for us today? All that will be answered here. Stay tuned.
The first problem that we had without batteries was heat. The only way to get heat was through fire, because we didn't have electricity. And even when we did, we still didn't have any portable form of heat. So we would usually just get firewood and put it into a fireplace, and that would keep you warm. Then there was the issue of light. Since we didn't have flashlights or any type of lights other than candles, we would have to use them or maybe a torch. And if you wanted to move the candle around without getting wax on your hands, you'd have to have a candle holder. Then there's the issue of transportation. If you didn't, without the battery, you just couldn't get around. You would have to get a horse and a wagon, or if you weren't rich, you just have to walk and carry all your stuff. Because without the battery, cars, buses, airplanes, none of it could have happened. And the last thing that you need to understand is, without the battery, we wouldn't have laptops, we wouldn't have cell phones, we wouldn't have cameras, we wouldn't have any of it. As a matter of fact, filming itself didn't come about until the battery was made.
Many of us use batteries every day without even a clue of how they work. Batteries can be found in almost every electronic today. Batteries are portable and easy to use. But how do these little cylinders really work? Well, let's take a look and see. Modern alkaline batteries today gain their electrical potential through a process called a redox reaction, otherwise known as an oxidation-reduction reaction. Electrical charges are transferred through ends of the battery in a circuit formed once a wire conductor is connected to both the top and bottom of the battery, which are called the cathode and anodes. In alkaline batteries, there are two main reactants. These include manganese dioxide and zinc as the main reactants. These two reactants are separated by an alkaline electrolyte bridge which conducts the ions to allow a circuit through the battery cell. When the two reactants go through chemical reactions assisted by an acidic hydroxide solution, ions are created as the manganese ions created by the acidic mix try to become complete by stealing electrons from zinc when connected by a conductor. When the reactants can no longer replace electrons, the battery will no longer create a charge. This creates zinc ions which wish to become complete as well by crossing the alkaline bridge and taking more electrons from the manganese creating circuit.
I was able to drop by and interview Christopher Robledo, a Cal Poly chemistry professor, and ask him a few questions about batteries. What's your definition of a battery?
Battery is what we call an electrochemical cell. So it has chemistry involved that oxidizes and reduces certain elements. It allows for the flow of electrons with external hardware, and this battery gives us a spontaneous reaction, a reaction that occurs by itself.
How have they affected the world? Just the battery in general.
Definitely the battery has given us a power source that's portable, and it has allowed us to, I'd say, maintain power to something pretty much 24/7.
What would the world use if it didn't have the battery?
Well, if we didn't have a battery, we would have to use some sort of device to give us energy, like probably wind power or hydroelectric, something from nature still. But
what is the oxidation-reduction reaction, and what exactly does it do for a battery? Can you go into detail and explain that?
Well, the oxidation-reduction reaction is a reaction that always occurs in tandem, and it's all about the electrons. The oxidation is where you lose electrons from, say, a metal, and an oxidation is where you gain electrons. Usually a non-metal gains electrons.
How have batteries changed over time, and do we have any new batteries, sources, water, I guess, to look forward to the future of batteries?
I guess with the batteries, I don't see the chemistry changing, but maybe the hardware changing as they make the components smaller, and, not only with smaller components, they can get a larger energy output.
The battery itself is a revolution. When you think about it, the battery was the very first invention that people used that was portable. In the 1800s, Alessandro Volta created the first battery, and from then on, more people created more and more different types of batteries to make it more portable and easier to use. If the battery wasn't invented, we'd have to carry around big electrical conductors that wouldn't be easy to use for any of us. The marketing for the batteries is $36 billion right now, and will be estimated to be $51 billion in 2013. The alkaline battery is the most high product battery that we have today, and then the next in line is the lithium batteries. So without the batteries, we wouldn't be able to have all the devices that we have. We use batteries in almost everything, like cell phones, computers, cars. We use it for communication and for both transportation.